prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
You got it. Go ahead and start now.
Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So before we sit down, we could all recite the four-way test. The things we say, think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So for visiting Rotarian guests, we have Rox Pollard, who's one of our new members, and he's getting real involved.
Hello, everybody. Today we have no visiting Rotarians. I think there are a couple of guests out there. If you do have guests or are here as a guest, you would introduce yourself, that would be great. Anybody?
Want to join y'all here?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Graham with Bravo Griffin Insurance. And today with me, I have Denise, and she is with the American Red Cross.
Anybody else? That's it. Thank you, Rox. And Denise has put her application in, so she's going to be a new member very soon. We're real excited about that. Then, just one housekeeping thing. I know things are new, and I think things went pretty well last week, but if you got any other suggestions, please do so. We're trying out the screen in the middle of the room today because we heard that it was a little hard to hear from the back, so hopefully this will work a little bit better. It's working so far, so hopefully it'll keep working that way. Just also, we got 2 check-in spots, and it's a little different than what we had. Debbie is out front for R85 members, so if you're an R85 member, you need to check in with Debbie and pay for the meal, and then come in and they'll give you a ticket. If you're not an R85 member, then you check in with Bob, you've already prepaid, he'll give you a ticket, and then we'll be set. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Seems pretty straightforward, but it's a change, so let's see, what else we have? I think we've got, next we have health and happiness, and Margaret's going to come up and talk a little bit about health and happiness, and then I'm going to give you a card message.
Can you do health and happiness with horns on like that?
You know, I love Mason because he asks these very personal questions. But these horns are on my head really 365 days a year. I just let them grow in October. So I'll let you know. But Mason, thank you for bringing attention to that. I hope that y'all are all planning your trick-or-treating because, you know, it's always a very fun thing. So, on to health and happiness. Carrie is in week 33 of her quad tendon operation, and things are getting better. So that's really good. So it's a rough patch. So last night, if anybody knows this, we had the Bridge dinner on Gervais Street. They sold out. It's a 1,000-person sit-down dinner. The weather was really not an outdoor event kind of night. It was super cold, but super beautiful and really cool. So I hope y'all can go. They're in their 10th year, so it's kind of a not to miss kind of thing. Columbia, West Columbia, and Casey event. So it's one of those rare things. We have a couple of flower arrangements that are left over from an event. We're always grateful for joy. So there's one back on Bob's table. So a couple of things. Sylvan's, the new Sylvan's location is opening right before Thanksgiving. It's in the Vista, and please go see it. It is a beautiful, beautiful. It's a little bit more than an upfit of a historic building. It used to be a train depot, so it's a very interesting project. Of course, it's a Rolex dealer and several other dealers. So that's kind of a really neat thing for our town. Another thing that's happening, of course, is Finley Park. We are the local architect on that project, and we're super excited about it. That official grand opening is November 15th and 16th. It's going to be a 2-day celebration with a lot of music and a lot of activity in the park. As a safety announcement, Catherine Davis does not have on stiletto heels today. I just want to say, it is, I don't know if it's a weather thing or maybe, I don't know what the issue is, but we are taking notice. I just want you to know.
Rain and gravel did not work in stiletto. So I had these on in the rain last night at the bridge dinner, so I just kept on wearing. They're
Okay.
my Italian jargon.
Well, I'm very proud of you, Catherine. I think you just eased into some of your other fellow female members are. The last thing is Columbia Sailing Club is hosting a whopping event this coming weekend. It's called Midlands Regatta. We have 175 boats on the water at Lake Murray. It is a beautiful thing. If you have a boat, go out and watch. If you can even go to the dam and go watch it, it's just a beautiful spectacle on the water. But what the cool thing is, about 70% of the participants are kids. So if you honor the mission of getting your next generation on the water, we are doing that and we're doing it well. So I'll give more of a report on that and hopefully no injuries. I think that's it, Dave.
Margaret,
Yes, sir.
I remember,
Oh.
Margaret asked me coming in if I had anything, and I was just racking my brain until it finally hit me that I do. Saturday or Friday night, in our backyard, we're having a spooky Americana concert for Halloween, and everybody's invited. Just bring a cooler and a chair, and we pay for the band. You can tip them if you like, but Friday night, if you're not doing anything for Halloween, and I think it was just the horns that reminded me. So, anyway, Friday night.
Thank you, Hal. This is why I really have horns all year round, to remind of parties with coolers and chairs. I think that's it, Dave.
Marty, you're messing things up.
Yeah, everything going through.
So Hal, if you can send your address, some of us don't exactly know where you live, we'll get it out in an email to everybody so we can come and party at your house. So thanks for inviting us all. We're gonna do the cart message as well. So I don't have my glasses, so I'll try to read this. During the past few years, 2 new Alzheimer's drugs have been approved by the FDA. Their brand names are Leqembi, pronounced Leqembi, and Kisunla. They are intravenous infusion therapies that have been shown to slow cognitive and functional decline. Neither of them is a cure or prevention of Alzheimer's. The annual cost of the first one is $26,500 and the second one is $32,000. They are Medicare approved, so they can bring down cost to $5,300 for the first one, Leqembi. The actual cost of both drugs vary depending on the type of Medicare coverage one has. There's still a need for research that will cure or prevent Alzheimer's and other dementias. Remember the blue bucket on your table and give generously. We're not going to do happy bucks today, but we did it last week and I thought it was pretty successful, so we're going to keep doing that so we can get caught up for this year. So I don't know if y'all read the email or have. We're going to start doing some member highlights, and we're going to invite our very own Ann Walker up to do a member spotlight. Ann will be up here in a second. So Ann's been very involved in Rotary over the years. As y'all may or may not know, she's district membership on the district membership committee this year. She's a past district governor and past president of Columbia Rotary Club. So without further ado, Ian's going to do her spotlight.
So here's the problem, they didn't give me time frame. The bottom line is that I'll make it short and sweet. They want me to tell you about how I ended up in South Carolina and how I ended up in Rotary, and at least those are the directions I think I saw, and if there's, and why I'm still in Rotary or something, I don't know. Anyway, when people ask me where I'm from, I say I'm from the great state of South Carolina. They go, no, really, where are you from? And I go, I'm from the great state of South Carolina. I was born in Charleston. At 6 months old, my dad was a Seward graduate. They moved to Columbia. I was raised in Columbia. I went to Lander and Greenwood undergraduate. Started my master's at Clemson, finished at Carolina. So I'm indeed in the great state of South Carolina, because I've covered it from the ocean to the mountains.
And you live in Sumter.
And I thank you, and I live in, thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. I live in Sumter, South Carolina. And the interesting thing is that to me, a lot of times people will say, well, you know, you got to nail it down. I go, no, I don't have to nail it down. I nail it down in the state of South Carolina. So there you go. Now, as far as being a Rotarian, I was the 6th female member of this club. In November of '87, this club brought in the first 5 women. And then I was number 6 in May of '88. And so I've been a member since then. And I was president in 99, 2000. And I was district governor in 08, 09. And I'd love for some other members of this club to join me in this district governor hunt that we go on every year to make sure we have the right person. So, and there's always competition, and you have to interview, etc. And so, and you have to have been president of the club prior to serving as district governor. So that's and I've been involved with Rotary. You know, I don't know, about 12, 13 international conventions. If you've never been to an international convention, I would challenge you to really think about that. This past year it was in Calgary, Canada, and my daughter's also a Rotarian. My husband is deceased, was a Rotarian. And so we've been all over the world with Rotary and had a great time and met a lot of people and had friends from way back when, so as well as brand new friends now. Work-wise, I started with the Austin Milk Society in 1972 when I was 22. Y'all can do the math. But I think I'm 50. My daughter's 52, so she says, Mom, how's that work? I said, no, you're 25. She said, quote, oh, hell no, I'm not going to do that. She's got a good personality. Anyway, so, but I started at Austin Milks in 72, and I was the first female hired in that agency that was not in a secretarial role. And I was there from 72 to 79, and I left. This was after I would come back to Columbia from Clemson, back to Columbia. And so anyway, I did that, and then I went into the speaking and training business myself and some other folks. Some of you know Ann Sinclair. Ann and I went to school together many, many years ago, and Eddie Mandel, etc. So a number of us, and we started a business called Resource Associates Incorporated, speaking and training and counseling business. And so I lived on a plane for 2 years. And after I did that, and I got married in '81, my husband was such a good man that in 1977, he got sole custody of his 4-year-old little girl from his first wife, who was an attorney. He was husband number 2. She since left husband number 5. So that tells you a lot about, you know, men about her. Bottom line is, so his daughter became our daughter. She has my name. If she walked in here, you'd swear I gave birth to her. And she sounds like me. It's just crazy. But anyway, she's 52 years old now. So I did the speaking and training for 2 years, and then when we got married, I really wanted to be in the home more and not living on a plane. So we were living in Sumter. I became assistant dean for continuing education at Sumter Technical College, which is now Central Carolina Technical College. Did that till '87, left in '87. Parker Evett was the first executive director of the Austin Milk Society. And when he left in '87, Carol Campbell named him the Commissioner of Corrections for South Carolina. I applied, got the job, and I've been there since. And people say, and they call my daughter and they say, is your mom ever going to retire? She said, no, she's gonna fall out one minute and call me and say she's gone, come get her. Prayerfully, I'll go before that happens. But I've never worked a day in my life. I have been so fortunate. Every job I've ever had, I've just absolutely loved. And also exercise my passion, and always has been. You may or may not know much about it. We were founded in '62 by a Methodist minister, Reverend Eli Alston Wilkes. He named it the South Carolina Therapeutic Association. He died a year and a half after he started it. The volunteers to the left renamed it in his memory, the Alston Wilkes Society. That's where the name came from. And so I've just been blessed to spend most of my career there. And we have 4 major programs. We have all the federal contracts in South Carolina for people coming out of federal prison, men and women. So facilities in Charleston, Florence, Columbia, and Greenville for that. We have a big veterans program, facilities in Columbia and Greenville, as well as when the program started on the state doing it, so we had all 46 counties, and we have 36 of the 46 counties, which is fabulous, plenty of work for us to do. And it's a major program. We can pay a veteran that qualifies, we can pay up to 50% of their rent for up to 2 years. So it's not one of these. I really like contract versus grants. Most grant programs, you get them about the time you hire your staff, there's money left to do the work you're supposed to be doing to begin with. Is that correct? Authority does, we share that. And so, bottom line is that we have a lot going on with veterans statewide. And then we also have a facility for kids that are coming up from juvenile justice. And then we also, here in the Columbia area, we have about 10 people strategically located around the state who go into local jails, state prisons. And you know how when somebody stands up and they talk, they tell you what your business is, your agency. When I get on a plane, I sit down beside somebody and they say, what do you do for a living? I'm in the construction business. Get their attention. If I say, now who in their right mind says, I work for a non-profit, I don't want to make any money. That's crazy. Of course I want to make money. I got to make more money than I have money going. I got to have more coming in than I have going out. So when I say construction, they go, what kind? I go, well, a little different. We, and our mission statement is rebuilding lives for a stronger community. So we're in the business of helping people rebuild their lives. So that's the kind of construction that I'm in. And absolutely love it and have a lot of great people working with us. I think my time's probably up, and or I hope I didn't go over. And so I look forward to hearing from the rest of y'all about what all y'all do and how life's treating you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Great. Appreciate you sharing.
Hey, David, I've got a quick question for Ann. She was one
Okay.
of my sponsors. My dad and Ann sponsored me for Rotary years ago. Ballpark, Ann, how many people do you think you sponsored to be in Rotary over your years?
I literally have not a clue.
But it's been a lot.
Because I'll tell you, you get to a certain age, and somebody says, you know, you sponsor your road, I'm like, really? So, I mean, forgive me, but I have no idea. But
Well, I appreciate it.
But I will, and I know we're gonna hear about this, I assume, but I'm big time on membership. They talk about foundation being a big part of Rotary, and it is, it's huge. We will not have a foundation if we do not have members. So to me, the number one thing is membership. And if every person, I've already brought, since we met here, I brought 2 people. We just met last week. All I'm saying is, if every person in here brought one person, we could double the size of the club. When I was president, we had 350 members and 42 committees, and everybody served on the committee. So I challenge you all to, let's step up and make this happen, because we used to be the largest in the district. Other clubs love telling us we're no longer the largest one in the district, because I was on a meeting this past Friday with all the past district governors. We're at the very bottom of the list so far as number of members lost. Now, because of our size, that's, in other words, you gotta compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, so to speak. But nonetheless, we can do this, y'all. And don't worry about having space to meet. There's another building right across here that's like a lot bigger, and we can fill it up. So I challenge everyone. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. And anybody that's interested in or willing to do Rotary Spotlight, Billy Candy is doing that, or reach out to Billy or me or Laura if you want to do that. I think it's great for us to get to know each other. Sometimes we don't sit at the same tables together and get to know each other very well. and I think it's great to know what people do, their history, and their background. Anyway, so thank you again, Ian. So, the next thing we're gonna do is our club assembly. So, the meeting is adjourned, or not adjourned, but open for the club assembly. And I'm gonna turn it over to Laura, because she's done 99% of the work on this, and let her run it.
Okay, well, that's the best part of leadership is delegation. So, we're gonna get started. Actually, first, I'm gonna ask Julia if she will do a quick tutorial. How many of you know about DAC? Was it DAC-B? DAC-DB. How many of you all know about DAC-DB? Okay, smattering, but this is a resource you have as a Rotarian that helps you connect and find other members. There's a lot of information on there. So Julia's just gonna run through it real quickly. I'm gonna bring her the microphone, and she's gonna do it here on the screen. And if you have questions, of course, she's available for in-person tutorials.
Hi, everybody. So this is DAC-DB. I'm already logged in to make it a little bit easier. If you do not have access or you're not sure how to, make sure to let someone know, either on the board or myself, and we can get a link sent to your email. So those fancy newsletters you get every Friday, this is what I use to send those out. So all the information gets put into here. This is your home base. If you have a Rotary question when you're not in a meeting and you're not sure where to go or who to ask, this is where you're gonna go. So some of the things you'll see here, you won't have access to. There's some reporting and things that I have because I work with the board. But up at the top left, you're gonna see, thank you. Top left, you're gonna see the little white and blue green boxes. So that's where everything is. Mostly, you're gonna live, can you see the mouse? I don't know. Mostly you're gonna live here in the My Club area. So when you click that open, this shows you all of the members. So let's say you were talking to somebody here, and you got their name, and you were talking about, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. You can pull up that member form there, and it will show you everyone here. So it'll show you your board members. So if you're ever curious what roles or who's the president, you can see David's right there, you've got Laura. So these are all your board members are gonna be right there up top. And then here starts the full list in alphabetical order of everyone. So Kelly, I'm going to use an example. I'm just gonna pull yours up. So when we pull this up, this look is a little different. But see how Kelly has her picture there? So that means that anytime that let's say we put Kelly in the newsletter or we need something, we'll go and reference these photos. You have control over your whole profile. So you can update your headshot. If you move, if you get a new email, a new phone number, you can update all of that on your own so that we can make sure that we can stay in contact and that others can reach you. That's probably the biggest piece of DAC-DB. This software is something that Rotary International built out. So it's only Rotary that uses this. So it's specific to them. So it's kind of cool about that. That's the biggest thing about the My Club area. And that some of these things we're working on updating, like you'll see the club committees after today. I'm going to be working on updating that. It takes a little bit of time, but that's a way you can go in and see what different committees are there, who's on them, who supports them. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you that's kind of cool. So this is I'm going back to the home page. So this is they call it Columbia Headlines. So it's a running tally of everything that's happening in our district. We're the first piece of news. So everyone in our district knows that Columbia Rotary has moved. So there's a little news article here. We got the picture of David and Graham, and then when you go to read more, it'll expand the article, and we've got this, and we've got the picture of the meeting itself. So if you go on to DAC-DB, and again, if you need help logging in, just let us know, we can get that sent to you. So there's our news article, but then you can see everything. So here's something from Forest Acres, more Forest Acres, something from Richland County, Spring Valley it looks like. So these are all the different articles and the different things that people in your district are doing. So it's a really good way to keep up with other activities. If there's things you want to do or things you see that you want to bring to this club, that's a really good place to get information. So again, if you need access to DAC-DB, let me know. I'm glad to help.
Well, I was just gonna ask, I think the reason that I never go, I can never remember how to log in.
Yeah.
That's the biggest challenge, not
Yeah, like
getting around, but what?
getting to it or like the actual username and password?
Yeah, I mean, I just went to it, it's email, login name. So I can put my email in, but I don't know, I think we have to have our club number or maybe some other.
No, I can reset that for you. So if you want to check in, actually, let's do this. Next Monday, so everybody check DACTV on your own time. If you can't get in, just put a star next to your name when you check in next week, and then I can go through and send those all out to everybody with a reset so that you can get access to it. And if you continue to have issues, let me know, and I can one-on-one help too.
Yes.
I wonder if you can do that now, and perhaps the
Can
next.
you just go through the login process?
Put the link in and whatever information.
Just go through the login process.
That's where you've got there's a login from there. Okay, so to get to your login, if you go to our website, if you have not been there before, it's Columbia Rotary Club.org. And then you've got, where's our login? Is that the bottom?
We're also in the process of updating this.
Would it be district database?
Is it the district date? Yeah, that's probably it.
Yep.
Yep, okay. So I think hers automatically logs her in.
Sorry.
But on that website from ColumbiaRotaryClub.org, there is a place where it says email, and that's the email that Rotary stuff comes to, correct?
Yes.
So it's whatever you did give as your official Rotaries, wherever you're getting the Rotary newsletter, that email is gonna be the email that you log in with. Does it have a reset password option on that?
It does, and I can also manually, if you don't know what you signed up with, or you're not sure, I can reset that manually, so just let me know.
So it should have a space on there if you can't remember the password or you don't know if you made one. There's a button that says reset password. If you click on that one, or you can get in touch with Julia and she can send you a reset. I just don't want to do it out to everybody to have them all reset because some people already have theirs that they use. So if we did it for everyone, that would reset everybody's. But Julia's here, so if you want to talk to her afterwards, she can help you with those. Okay. Any other questions on the DACTV? Well, I must say, I'm very excited to see such a full room as we have our club business. And we'll go through this pretty quickly from a presentation perspective because I do want everybody to get a chance to find a committee and get together and talk about plans for committees and things that are coming up. So this is meant to be more of a opportunity to engage rather than listen to me talk. So we will go through this pretty quickly. Yep, we'll go to the first slide here. We have, just in case you didn't know, this is your board for 25-26. The Rotary year begins July 1st. It is like the state budget year, from July to the end of June. So this is your group right now, and I'm gonna call everybody's name, and I would like for you to stand up and then sit down again so we don't get confused who's who. David Riniker, president, currently. Thank you, David. So I will be your president starting in July of next year. And then Graham Davidson will be president after that. The way our Rotary Club structure works, my role as president-elect, I'm in charge of programs this year as well. So you get it as a twofer. You get 2 roles instead of 1. So Graham is in charge of membership. And we have as our treasurer, Phil Grummett. Thank you, Phil. Past president Jonathan, is Jonathan here today? No, Jonathan Jeffco. Rotary Foundation, Stephen Creech, also a past president, but is serving as foundation. And then our members at large, we have Kelly Augenstein. Thank you, Kelly. Matt Kennel, I think Matt's here today. Andy Shane. Thank you. Kay Shaw. Thank you, Kay. William Starrett. I didn't see William. And Grace Stevenson. I did not see Grace coming. Okay. So that is our board for this year. I'm going to have Phil come up and just quickly go through some club finances. not to belabor financial conditions, but this is more about, this is our structure. You know, if you run a business, you know that your financials run everything. So Phil's gonna explain a little bit on dues and our accounts.
Thank you, Laura. Basically, the highlights, your annual dues, people always wonder what actually that covers. That covers our dues to Rotary International. It covers our district dues. It covers our club dues. And it also covers the Rotary Foundation and the Columbia Rotary Century Fund. We put money in those as well. Now, the two big funds that we have, one is the investment account for the foundation. That's over $800,000. That's what we use to pay for the scholarships that we award every year. That's effectively self-sustaining at this point. And then the other is the Century Fund, that part of your dues goes into building that, and that is used for service activities. That's little free library. That's we use it for the food packing. We use it for other things. So that's one of the things we want to look at this year, is to try to come up with some ideas on what else we can use that fund for.
So you're saying the interest off the $842,000 is able to fund scholarships?
Yes.
So any additional money we raise for Bocce Bash or anything is just gonna make that 842 go up?
Well, the 840 is pretty much self-funding. The money we raise off the Bocce Bash really goes to fund the operation of the foundation, not the scholarships themselves. That's the investment account for the scholarships themselves.
Phil, how much money do we give out every year in scholarships?
It's $20,000. It's $4,000 or $5,000 scholarships.
I would guess times 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every year we award 4 scholarships, and they're for 4 years, so we continue to add to that amount every year. So we're always funding, 16? We're always funding 16 kids.
Which is 160? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that was my question.
220,000.
Oh, 2, I'm sorry. I read 4, yeah. Well, we had talked about thinking, again, part of the question too for a scholarship fund is also to think about, from a financial perspective, is it possible to increase that number? So we do our scholarships, and Kay will get into that more as we get into what our scholarship fund activities are. But from the Century Fund, and actually John was just explaining to me earlier today what was behind the impetus of starting the Century Fund. John, would you like to just briefly describe that for us?
I guess I was president of the club in 2016, which was our 100th anniversary year. And our board did a lot of things. We put together a big celebration for 100, but we also wanted to do something that could maybe leave a legacy for this club that might be noticeable in our community. I went, Greenville Club had their 100th anniversary right around the same time we did. And I went to Greenville to see what they did and so forth. And I was blown away by what the Greenville Club does. They have well over $1 million in their, quote, Century Fund. Probably right now it's close to $2 million, I would guess. And they have done some amazing things in downtown Greenville and all around their community over the years. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if the Columbia Rotary Club could do the same kinds of things in our community so people would know we're here and that we're doing really meaningful things. And our board did a study. We spent time with Kay talking about the money and the scholarship fund, and realized that that fund had reached a point where its earnings would carry it way into the future, assuming we give the same amount of money every year that we do now. So we created the Century Fund, which was intended to receive monies that we raise, because we felt like we already substantially funded scholarship funds, and we didn't need to keep contributing to that over the years. But the idea that this Century Fund might be a way for us to do some important things in our community. Excuse me. And the only thing that we've done of significance that's notable in the community is that we were a sponsor of the monument down in 5 Points to the captives, the Hanoi prisoners, which one of our members, excuse me, was in prison there, and so we participated in that. We have a plaque down there for that, but right now I don't know of anything else we've done of significance in the community. The scholarships are important. Our work to raise money to buy food for kids over the summer or over the holidays, school kids, is great, but nobody knows about it. And I think that would be great for us, and even if we took a leadership role among all Rotary clubs in the Columbia area, to put together some really significant project in this community that people would know about. So that kind of was the beginning of what that was meant to be. I still have that in my heart as an ambition. Before I leave this club, I'd like to see us do something that will leave a legacy for our club in our community here. So I think now that the money from our fundraising efforts is going into that, but I don't know that because it hadn't grown that much since we started. So I don't know, maybe you can help me with that.
So our bocce funds at this point are going into an operating fund that supports the foundation, but that's not to say we can't also revisit those things. I think we have a lot of opportunities to do some really great work. And that's where we're starting that all right now today by sort of reinvigorating our committees. Yes, ma'am.
Laura, for example, in Sumter, the Sumter clubs went together in downtown Sumter, which is, you haven't been there, but they have a fountain. They have a Rotary fountain with bricks that people bought with their names, etc. You go to Chapin, there's a clock right near Chapin, done by the Rotary Club. So
And it has the 4-way test on it.
Yes, it's 4-way. So the visible things that people can look down and say, oh, Rotary did that. And that's what John's talking about. So, and I have one more question kind of on the side. When I came in today, I came in about Harvest Cup food. The line is so long, I've never seen it before. As a club, if we say, if a group of people are interested in saying, I mean, we know what happens when number one, SNAP benefits go away, there'll be a whole lot of hundred people. Can we as a club, what's the process now? Because things change through the years. What's the process now? If we feel like that we ought to just stroke a check of some variety to Harvest Hope, and I don't serve on that board, I don't know who the exec is, I have no connection to Harvest Hope other than I know that they do good work. So, just throwing that out as a question to say, is there a process in place for us to think about something like that?
I think what we could do, sorry? Okay, so that would have to be a board consideration, so we can talk about that, David.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, that's a board decision, so we're gonna do some work on the Century Fund and what we're actually gonna do with that money, because it's built up and we haven't been doing a whole lot with it. So we'd like it to grow, but we also want to do some things that are good for the community, so we'll be taking that up.
I will say though, in the immediate, another thing we can do though is, Julia, maybe we can find out from Harvest Hope if they've got something, online donations, or if there's something that individuals could do in the meantime, to support Harvest Hope. We could put that in a newsletter, to share that. So if we go on to our committee list, and again, I'm just gonna put this up here quickly, but I wanna go through, for the committee folks who are here today, so I got little table tents that Julia made, and after we conclude with this upfront discussion, we'll put the table tents on each of the tables, And if you are interested in that committee or you're on that committee, then you all can go to that table and we'll have a sign-up sheet for everyone to, I brought those, Julia. Julia's looking around like, where are the sign-up? I brought some. So we'll have everybody, yes.
I do not see invocation committee up there, and so I would really like some people to join so I don't have
You are
to
correct,
call so many
Al.
people.
I'm sorry, can we join that table with the health and happiness table?
Yes.
Invocation and health and happiness?
Yes, that'd be good.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. So that, if we've got, so let me see, we'll just really quickly run through these. I just put some slides together to give you a sense of what the committee is about, so you'll know where you want to go when we say go. So if you want to click, please, if you would. We got bell ringing with Andy Shane. And we've got some example of what does it look like to ring the bell. Who doesn't know about ringing the Salvation Army bell? That was one of my dad's favorite things to do. And we've already got dates and everything and sign-ups, so that will be self-explanatory. Okay. Oops. And then we've got Watch a Dash with Zach.
And Laura, going back to the bell ringing.
Yes.
That link to sign up is, where is that link to sign up?
There's two of them. Actually, go back. If you don't mind, go back. So there's, the link is on the bottom.
Okay.
But new is a QR code. So put up your phone, it'll send you to that site.
And when you go to, when we break up in tables, I actually printed this out, so it will be on the table that says bell ringing, and you can sign up on that.
And it was on the newsletter as well.
Yeah, it goes in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So lots of opportunities on that one. Bocce Bash, so our date, April 25th, and Zach is heading that one up. So he does need a lot of folks to help make that work. So if you're available on April 25th, it's a lot of fun. He needs judges. We need all kinds of things like that. So when time comes, go see Zach. Food packing, Graham, we have a date for that as well, I think. Have you talked with?
Yes, we're gonna be doing it here, but it's not this building. It's gonna be at the bigger building up there. December 6th, please put it on your calendar. We had a lot of showing from Richland 1 last year and not as many members of the Rotary Club. So if you can come, please put that on your calendar. We're gonna increase the meals and it'll be a lot of fun. And Jenny Joyner, I don't think Jenny's here.
She's not here.
Jenny's taking it over next year. But I need ideas to make it fun and interactive, so if you have any.
Yes, that's another one that needs like physical people, and if you have teenagers, they also need service hours.
Yes.
It's great to bring your kids for that one. Okay, so we'll have a table for that with sign-ups. And we've got Stephen. Would you like to say something about what foundation work is?
Hey, I'm Stephen Creech. I took over the foundation committee from Andrew Clarkson this year. Everybody knows about the impactful work of the Rotary Foundation all around the world. I think that the foundation's worth close to $7 billion now. Lots of different focuses, polio, other things. In the club, what we do with our foundation giving is I basically am a committee of one, as far as I know, right now. Certainly looking for some help. But we keep track of the giving from members of the club to the Rotary International Foundation. So once you've given $1,000 to the Rotary International Foundation, you're a Paul Harris Fellow. And that is an honor that was created in the 1950s to honor people who commit to supporting the Rotary Foundation. So if you give $1,000 every year, you can be part of the Paul Harris Society. I have a box with a lot of old certificates and Paul Harris fellowships in it, and so just real quickly, I'm going to give Carrie Powers, past president, her Paul Harris Fellow +2 pin. And I want to honor Robert Weston with his Paul Harris +5 pin. If you have any questions about where you stand in your giving, I've got a piece of paper with everybody's name on it. And you don't have to give in your own name. You can certainly give in somebody else's honor as well. It's a very nice thing to do. So I'll hand it back to you, Laura.
And I just saw one of these, we made Graham and Stevenson.
Yeah, I joined House Family.
Join the family. So the next one I'll just do is while you're finishing that is greeters, and it says vacant, but actually Susan Elkins is still doing that. Susan's not been able to be as active because she's taking care of her mother right now. but she's still doing the greeters, and that's a great thing. I think we're requiring every new member to be a greeter at least for 1 month, and it rocks. Has been doing it in October, I'm not sure he's doing it the next month, but it's a great thing to do. Good chance to get to meet a lot of people and get some names with faces. It was good for me to do it when I did it when I first joined, so now I'm gonna hand it back over to Laura.
Okay, and health and happiness, which we will add invocation to that one. That one is gonna be in that back corner along with greeters. We ran out of tables for all of our committees. Okay, moving right along, because we don't want to run out of time. Little Free Library with Doug. I think self-explanatory, but if you meet at that table, I think there's probably some more things that could be done. All right. Member engagement with Kelly. I think there's a lot of opportunities that can be done, and that maybe is a little bit, might be connected with social. You might be able to move that in a social direction, because I think our social right now is vacant. But membership, Graham Jameson. Again, a lot of synergies there. Programs, so right now I've got Margaret and Angie help me with coming up with speakers and thinking of interesting people to bring to you all. So there's all kinds of things there. This is our heavy lifting right here is with scholarships with Kay. And she can tell you all about, again, as she said, the heartstrings, getting involved with these kids and thinking about the impact you have. It's a great way to be involved. And then, like we said, social right now is vacant, but kind of wraps.
It's not vacant. It's just been quiet.
Oh, well, because that was Jonathan. Oh.
Well,
there, how are you quiet, Margaret?
Change that bacon to Margaret.
Margaret, sold. All right, so on your. Oh, okay, gotcha. I was just left out of the loop. That's all. I apologize. Okay, so table tents on all of the tables. I'm going to bring on some sign-up sheets, and everybody find a place to plug in and connect, and then we'll get these lists to Julia, and then everything, you'll all be connected.
Just so everybody knows, past presidents usually twice a year.
Okay. Past presidents meet twice a year as well.
You can pass it I think Laura put is putting a sign up sheet. You don't have to sign up, but it's nice to show You can tell us what's going
I'm going to. Maybe I'm not. Okay.
in December. You talked about doing
You're scared to touch it.
Let's do it.
Wait, our scholarships.
Just us? Hello, how are you? Good, how about you?
Can't complain.
Good, good.
I'm about ready for break.
Yes, yes.
My son graduated last year. So he's been in and out of New York since before he graduated. So he's been there for the last 3 months. He leaves today. They have a big performance Saturday. Goes into Charlotte, goes straight to Durham. They got a couple performances there. He was going back to come home for a couple days, come back. American Dance. Prior here for a couple weeks. So he's doing that artist life, like kids.
Oh, yeah.
So like all this stuff is at the house. Since he graduated, he's about only been there 3 years.
Stays all together.
It's like 5 of them in a apartment, Airbnb in New York, 1 bathroom. He lived there in college.
Yeah, right.
But he's getting the taste of it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so tired of people daddy.
Yes, yes. Wow. Well, that's great. That's great.
Young, no responsibility.
Oh yeah, just focusing on his career. That's awesome.
My daughter
She graduated from Wentworth. She's 30. She's finishing her master's. And she graduates in December.
Oh, wonderful. What's her master's in?
Social work.
My daughter's going to do that too. Is she doing it here? Your daughter?
Well, she lives in Savannah, but she's doing it online.
Okay.
She got an undergraduate from She took a long 10 years to go. She worked at all kinds of stuff. And went back during the pandemic. And so I tried to get her to stay to do that advanced study. Just 4 years, she's like that at the time. But she started classes online. So it just took her 2 years. So she graduates in December.
That's good.
Yeah, so my wife, and myself, and my daughter, we went to TJ Martinez. One of the big schools, the dance program, which was probably the best thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Where's your daughter?
Here, she's going to fly, yes.
She already got her undergraduate?
She graduates in sociology and psychology.
What does she want to do long term?
I think she wants to work in a hospital.
Tail was like that. I don't know if I'm working on hospital. She said, she got MSW. She's like, go to the red patch. She's always been a change. She needs some disabilities, breast chemotherapy, autism kids, kids with disabilities. Now she works with the mediation center. They do try to get kids who are getting kicked out of school. Does a lot with the Chatham County drug team. Fentanyl's really bad. So she goes to all, she's got like 12 high schools, 15 middle schools. She does programs.
That keeps her busy, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. She's always on the news, doing interviews, different things. Then she's an influencer too, so she's always doing video. Every time we eat, she's doing food.
That's great.
Do we need to sign up again? You got all our stuff.
I've got all of it. I'm not taking anybody off. And nobody gets off. You guys get off.
If you've been on, you're on.
That's right. No, but Diana Ireland has joined us.
Oh, good.
She says she's ambassador.
I was over at the Haywood Center the other week, and last week we used their building over there to do a banquet for our individuals who have jobs, so like the independent employment. So we gave out awards and all that stuff, and it was so good to see, those kids doing the food, because they have the food service class. They had on their jackets and hats, and they put out so many people. So I was telling the director, about the scholarship, kids that come to that district. It is just, I tell you, every year it blows me away of how professional some of those kids are. They come in there, sitting there looking at 20 of us, and they have great conversations.
It is amazing. I mean, y'all hear the stories, but how do some of those kids get themselves up every day dressed to go to work?
That's what I was telling you.
I mean,
I said the stories we hear, what they go through, their family situations sometimes. It's just amazing. I mean, they top 1% of their class.
Looking at the funds that are in there, I think we need to lobby at least for one of our scholarships.
That's what all
Are y'all comfortable?
Oh, sure. Do 3 instead of 2.
I mean, I'd go for as many as it gives, but I'd say let's start with one.
Add it to mine.
Yeah, we asked them to add one.
Who has to approve that? The board? Yeah. Can you bring that to them as a recommendation from us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are y'all comfortable with that? Jumping away without asking him anyway, but I'm sure Bob, I think that's, if we don't ask, we don't get.
Thank you, you too.
Hello. Now, this year, I've already signed. All right, okay, I'm going to run on. I will. We text about at least once a week, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. I will. Take care.
Thank you. So, just a couple of things and then we'll let you go. There is plenty of leftover food in here. They have takeout things, so if you'd like to take some home, please do so. It's all really, really good. So please get some food. Anything else, Lauren? Okay. Oh yeah, please put your badges in the wood buckets. That's how they collect them. And then we're gonna see how this,
See you next time.
You want it while I got in front of me? You want to sign up for a bell ringing? Well, this will be the second week in December. No, you needed to. That's a good time.
No, I love to ring the bell. I mean,
No, but go make it. Hey, we have one day going.
all right, good.
The shift's already gone, so there we go.
Good. I'm signed up.
Smart.
So I was at an event in Darla Friday night. Shut and Shine.
That was great.
That's good.
He was up there, when he was.
At the associate dean. I guess she came here like 2 years after I graduated. She knew Dean Kane and Dean Delosier. You may or may not know, but Kane was the business school dean when I was there.
We're all.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, we had the bank did a small sponsorship for it too. I'm trying to get more involved.
Please do. In the end, you're helping your future employees. You know what I mean? Think about it. And the thing also too is, I think if you take something, you sit there and say, hey, by the way, we'd love to have get your best and brightest be our interns. You know what I mean? You know, those sorts of internships and that kind of thing. They get a sense of what you do. You know what I mean? You kind of make a commitment. You can kind of go to them and say, give us, try to make a
Oh, really?
Exactly. We don't have a specific training program. We really need to develop that. I mean, because that's where you get the best and brightest.
Well, and it's
like you go to these arrangements.
exactly whatever. And it's a two-way street because they can try you out. You know what I mean? And figure out they want to, but you also get to try them out. So you're not flying in the line and like something. So you go, Graham, you really did great for us. I'll let you know. I mean, you said you want to be a bank manager because you're doing so well. Come back to us next summer and we'll make you an assistant bank manager when you walk out of school. You know, we'll make an offer you can't refuse. So, you know what I'm saying? That's, I mean, I'm just surprised more. You know, we have, and they're eligible, if I'm not mistaken, for $3,000 state scholarships. So in critical fields, which are mostly STEM, but through financial, the state will pay $3,000 in addition to whatever you pay. So honestly, during the sickness, you can probably pay them less than you're going to have but I wouldn't do that. But you know what I mean? But the idea was it was to help unpaid internships, but also to give incentive to out-of-state kids to say, Andy, rather than go back to Pennsylvania and work for a bank, why don't you come and work for one of our banks? And little one, you get to stay here, keep your lease, do whatever, and you'll make whatever you're gonna make for the bank. And we're also gonna give you $3,000.
I need to figure out, because we do internships.
It's on the site. I mean, if you just Google U of SC stop internship, you'll get right to the site. And I'm 90% sure you'd be covered in it, because Remember Financial is covered in it.
Yeah, so they pay free.
They pay free, and as I said, the idea there is for the local kids to get paid if they're not getting paid a lot, or the other idea is, well, I'd love to come work for you in Greenwood, but I live in Conway. I can't afford to live in Greenwood. Right. What you're going to pay me, I can't. Okay, so here's $3,000 to at least maybe defer some of your rent costs, or your travel costs, that kind of thing. But no matter what, even that's internship still.
Right, but if it gets you in with the bank, and that's what you want to do, and it looks good on a resume, so even if you don't come to work for First Community, you say, hey, First Citizens, Wells Fargo, this is what I did in the summer.
Or even Starbucks or BMW. It wasn't for me, but I think I might like to try this job. Just the thing. But at the same time, you also might get that kid from New Jersey or Connecticut or Illinois, since I love South Carolina. I never knew that. I could work for my bank in my hometown, or I could work for you. Spend my summer and go to the beach. Right. Even if they don't end up working for you, so what? I mean, you don't know.
Yes.
And keep the
I feel like
outside.
it's our responsibility to give back to you. I mean, we're right here. We're based in Lexington. They might have some Ted or the Clemson guys, but the next folks come up in North Carolina. So.
Right. You push them out of the way. Maybe a little scandal. But no, but seriously, look at this internship, because again, because a part of it too is if you're losing people or not even thinking about it, because you're like, well, look, we can only pay $15 an hour, and who's going to want to do that? Well, if you say $15 an hour plus you're getting $3,000, you might not get that kid from across the city, but you might get somebody who's willing to drive 45 minutes.
We have a lot of older people working in senior management and management, like me. I mean, I'm not managing anybody, but I'm managing a relationship portfolio. And we need people, younger people, that can be willing to take my place when I'm leaving in 5 years or whatever.
Exactly. And the other thing too is that something wrong with saying, you might not have ever thought about doing it, but this is a customer service job. Wouldn't you like a customer service job that comes with bonuses and and the ability to move up? If you're a customer here at a store or at a you're a retailer at some other things, when your chances to move up. You want to be the manager of Starbucks, or do you want to be the manager of a bank?
We hire externally, but we also hire from internally. Yeah. So customer service, like we've got our head teller. One of our tellers at the branch is training to take over as customer service when our CSR retires in about 2 years. So and then the CSR can turn into a branch manager, who can then turn into a commercial. Yeah.
But yeah, look into and if you need a link or you need any information, come to me. I'll get it to you, because as I said, I'd love to get you. I mean, I don't plenty of people, and as I said, I think there are also plenty of people who want to stay around Columbia because their leases are this, and again, they're close enough to be able to go to the fun things they want to go to in the weekends, right? Like get a job, get the experience, and not necessarily. And again, the $3,000 means the difference between them having to go back to Conway or being able to stay in Columbia.
All right, you're good. All right, I'll be signing up.
Well,